20 bucks. 20 bucks. They lay it on the line for 20 bucks.
Hi guys,
They
it's
keep on
Paul
playing
from Montreal.
when nobody's
Hope
paying.
you're safe
More
and
than
well,
some nickels and some dimes.
and come into my kitchen. I'm Maggie, Mrs. Calabash. Today we're going to make one of Derek's favourites. It's a Peruvian potato salad. He loves this potato salad and he keeps bugging me to make it. So anyway, he's got potato salad. And I'm going to make some mushroom vol au vents to go with it, because this either makes a nice supper, a light supper, a picnic, eat out on the patio, yeah, a nice light lunch. So I've got a block of puff pastry. Now, try and buy frozen puff pastry in a piece. If you can only get sheets to a packet, then just brush some egg on and put two together, because you need the thickness. And I just rolled it out, a cutter. So if you don't have a cutter, then a wine glass, anything will do. I'm going to dip this in a little flour because it's sticky. And I've got the oven preheated to 450. You can make your own puff pastry, but oh, it takes all morning. Quite honestly. I mean, we had to make our own puff pastry. When I trained, there wasn't any frozen puff pastry. There we are. Just make sure that they're cut through. A line piece. Now I'm just going to go to the sink and I'm going to put some cold water on that. And you may say, what on earth is she doing? Well, the cold water makes steam in the oven and it makes the pastry rise. This is where, if you're lucky enough to have a steam oven, it's great for this. It's not quite gone through. These cutters are a little bit old. There we are. Now, I'm not going to throw that away. After the show, I'm going to put it back in the fridge. I will gather it all together and make another couple of vol au vents out of it. So I'll just show you how to put it together again, because you don't want to, you have to treat it a little bit carefully, puff pastry. It's a little bit temperamental. Whoops, there we are. There. So rather than just go at it, just gather it together like that. Press the sides together. Gently just roll out like that. Pull it over again. Press, 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 turn, and that will make some more puff pastry for you. So that's not going to go to waste, believe you me. Let's get rid of the flour. We're a bit against the clock for this because I want them to cook in the time that I've got. So fingers crossed. Let's just get rid of that. Now we're going to brush them lightly with some egg. And this is just egg mixed with a little salt and some water. So just let's brush them quickly like this. Now the reason why we brush them like this first is that when we do the next cut, we don't want it to seal, because we want it to come up like a little cap. So take a smaller, that's a little bit, have I got anything smaller than that? No, I don't like that. Anyway, we'll have to risk it. And go 3/4 of the way down. I don't like that. Where is it? I've got a wine glass. That's better. So go 3/4 of the way down, because you want to have some filling in there. I had, or got somewhere, and I've never found it since we moved, all my cutters from college, and I don't know where they are. I've searched the house trying to find them. There we are, like that, and they were going in the oven at 450. So quickly, quickly, quickly. Let's just clear up the mess. I checked these and I thought, yes, they're okay, but no, it's a little bit on the narrow side. So if you don't have cutters, use whatever you've got. So now we're going to cook the mushrooms. Excuse me, let me just wash my hands. For this, I've got sliced mushrooms. I'm back at the stove, Derek.
Oh, good thinking.
Good thinking. So a little butter. And look, I've sliced all the mushrooms. So let's just melt that a little. We're going to be hopping and skipping from one recipe to another. So you have to be on your toes, Derek.
Okay.
He's on his tiptoes now. I can see him. There. We just need that to melt. Add the mushrooms. I'm going to, now I'm making mushrooms today, but you can make this sauce and you can use ham and cheese, mushrooms and cheese, mushrooms and ham, shrimp, chicken and mushroom, chicken, whatever you've got left over to make some vol au vents. They make a great appetizer, and as I say, a nice little snack, a light lunch. I'm putting some seasoning in. It's Mrs. Calabash seasoning, and they won't take long to cook. So I'm going to put those on the back burner and just let them cook for a few minutes. Turn these off. Move those over there like that, and we'll come and we'll keep an eye on them. I can't stop stirring. There. So now the Peruvian salad. So let's go back to the butcher block. As I say, it's a bit hopping and skipping for this recipe. There we are. So the Peruvian salad, for this, I've got red onion. I like red onion sliced and chopped for this. Red onion, and that's a little cayenne and salt, which is going to go with the onion, and some lemon juice. And just mix all these together like that and just put on one side. This is better if you can make this early in the day and serve it later, just so that it can all chill. But it's a really, really interesting dish. So just let those marinate like that. And now we had some potatoes. These were the little potatoes, and I just cut them in half. If you've got larger potatoes, quarter them. And we're going to go back to the stove, Derek. Come on, back with me. And give the mushrooms another stir. Like that. I'll put them over onto... Are they okay on that burner?
Sure.
Okay. Now, to make the sauce for the Peruvian, potato salad. It's cream cheese. Put a little cream, I just chopped it up so that it melts quicker. A little cream cheese. And I've got in here half a teaspoonful of salt and some turmeric. So I'm going to add those like that. And we're going to melt this. So you have to be a little bit patient with it. Don't put the heat on too high. It doesn't like it. Keep stirring the mushrooms until they're cooked. They look almost cooked actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these over to the back. There we are. Bring this forward. Oh, the joys of cooking. I need another wooden spoon. Now you see in here we've got the juice from the mushrooms and the butter. I've got a little more butter there in case I need it. Let's just melt that. Keep an eye on that. And I'm going to add the flour. We're going to make a roux. You could take the mushrooms out, but why bother? So anything to save washing up, that's me. So let's just cook out the flour. And remember, I'm going to add just a little more butter to that. It looks a bit stiff. I'm going to add some cream to the cheese mixture. Now the cheese is melting. Ooh, lovely. Now we've cooked out the flour so that it doesn't taste raw, and milk. I've got a little extra milk in case I need it. It just depends how carefully I've weighed out the flour. These handles get awful hot on these pans. As I keep saying, I wish the manufacturers would make them so that it doesn't get hot. So just keep stirring like that until it thickens. You know what? I've got a drop of cream left in the bottom there. I'm going to just rinse out. That's very decadent. That's very decadent. And just keep adding the milk until you're satisfied how thick you want the sauce. That is a little bit, to me, is a little bit on the thin side. So I've got a little beurre manier here, which is just, I always keep some of this extra. It's butter and flour kneaded together. That's what beurre manier means. And it's a really quick way of thickening a sauce or soup. You know, sometimes you measure it out and it's not quite thick enough, and you think, oh, what am I going to do now? Put some beurre manier in it and it'll thicken. So let's just have a quick taste. We want the seasoning to be right. You know, it needs just another pinch. And we're going to just put that on one side to cool. Let's bring this forward. There we are. These get hot as well. There we are. I'm going to give that a quick whisk. Oh, I've made a lovely mess. Oh, yes. Let's just whisk this until it's smooth. And again, we're going to have to taste it just for seasoning. Oh, I've scattered it. I'm not satisfied with, you see how nice and smooth that is. Look, it's a beautiful smooth sauce. Oh, that tastes absolutely delicious. So I'm going to turn my back on that. Let's move this. I don't want it to heat up anymore. So back over here. Ideally, we would let this cool before adding it to the salad. So let me just have a quick look in the oven. They're rising beautifully, but there's no little lid on because it wasn't, the glass didn't go in deep enough. So I'll show you what to do if that happens. Yeah, all part of the game. So the rest of the Peruvian salad is have a bowl lined with lettuce, and then we add the potatoes like that. Let's just pull the lettuce up by the side like that. Our beautiful mixture of onions and lemon juice. Push all that in like that. Olives. Now, I know I like olives, but I do know that sometimes you have guests that have an allergy to olives. So if you don't know who's coming for a meal, if you've got guests coming, I suggest you put the olives in a little bowl at the side and let people help themselves. Because I've got a friend who is severely allergic to olives. Now the recipe said whole olives. Look, I hadn't got any whole olives, but I had sliced olives. And so use what you've got. And I'm using black olives, but if you've only got green olives, hey, use some green olives. And eggs. The eggs, as you can see, have been cut into quarters. So let's just lay the eggs on the top, like that. And this is really delicious, believe you me. It goes with, I mean, it will go with as a side dish to a cooked meal.
Great main course.
A great main course, as Derek said, yeah. He'll eat it as a main course. Having a barbecue, great. You can make this in the morning, bring it out, and let's just... And this is a nice sauce, because not everybody likes mayonnaise.
Me.
Derek for a start, yes. So let's just make little holes in there, pour the sauce all over the top, and it will gradually just drip down like that. Oh, and that is absolutely delicious, believe you me. It's very, very Moorish. And we put that in the fridge and let it chill. Just wipe the edge. And I've got a little green onion here just to decorate. That's a bit, just a little chopped onion and some, for some colour, a little sliced red pepper. And that is the Peruvian salad. Can you see it?
To me.
Can you see it?
I sure can.
There we are. That's the Peruvian salad. So dig in and enjoy. So let's have a look in the oven. Dum, dum, dum. Back to the oven. Let's turn the oven off. These are hot and they haven't risen as much as I like. I like them to be about twice this size. But there we are. Let's put them on a cooling rack. And now we've got to doctor them. So if this happens to you, which it happens sometimes in the best regulator circles, if you want them to rise more, don't roll them out quite so much. There we are. I mean, half the trick of the trade is knowing what to do if something goes wrong. And my first demonstration, because I trained actually as a cookery demonstrator, was in front of the principal and other principal demonstrators. Everything went wrong. And I had to learn how to get out of it. I can see it now, I was making stuffed apples. And I core the apples, and it's natural to pick the apple up and stuff it. Well, obviously you've got a hole top and bottom and it goes straight through. Well, when I'd done it about 3 times, it occurred to me to put it on the baking sheet and fill it. And the principal said, "Yes, Miss Allen, I was wondering how long it would take you before you realised." And that was my first demonstration. Oh, you learn. Things go wrong. It's not always perfect. If it was perfect, it'd be great, but things still go wrong in the kitchen, and there's usually a way of getting out of it. So let's just run round the top like this. It's very hot. There we are, like that. Now, you can push that down like that, or you can pull this out. If you want more space in there, just pull it out like that, get a spoon, go round the back and just pull out excess pastry. And then you can get more filling in. We'll just do a few for you, like that, because it is better if this cools down a little bit before you get your fingers in there, because believe you me, it is hot. There we are. We've got these, and I will fill the rest, depending how much time we've got. So we've made a nice mess again. Let's just clear the mess. There we are. I've got a plate, and I'm going to put a little, the lettuce, it wasn't the best. So let me just put a little, I like to put some lettuce on. It makes it look nice and summery. Just fill the plate up with a little lettuce. It would be lovely when we can bring the lettuce out of the garden and use it for this. I'm going back to the drawing board, so to speak. Need that. Just give this a quick stir. And I find it easier, the easiest way to fill is by 2 spoons like this. Fill. You can always add a drop of wine to this sauce, which is rather nice. Just pat them in like that. But you can, very often, I make the vol au vent cases and keep them in the freezer. Bring out the vol au vent cases and just heat them up in the oven and then mix some sauce up to go in there. There we are. Can I reach? I don't know. Okay. Let me just move that one over there for a bit. Oh, we've left one out. Well, we'll do that one in a minute. So just put the cap back on, like that. And we go out with jabor. So please enjoy the vol au vents and the Peruvian salad. Go to Mrs. Calabash Cooks on Facebook, like, share with a friend, and please share with a friend. And if you've got any comments, good or bad,
20 bucks.
I'd be delighted to hear from you.
Lay it on the
I
line for
usually
20
reply
bucks.
fairly quickly.
They
So
keep on
please
playing,
stay
but
safe,
nobody's
stay
paying.
warm,
More than
and
some nickels and some
enjoy.
dimes. 20 bucks.
Are we out?
20
You
bucks.
want one? Don't take
Their
them.
fingers bleed
Look,
for
have one of
20
these.
bucks.
God, what do you do with them?
Can't pay the rent on the money that you spent.
There's
You
no
can't get by
satisfying
with
some
20 bucks.
people.
Very good.
20
Very
bucks.
good. Very good. Very good.
Add a little bit of colour.
She knows what she's doing. She's there.
But buy on 20 bucks. We try to get by on 20 bucks. It gets harder as each week goes by.
This is very good, Maggie.
Thank you. I will now clean my board. There we are. Enjoy, everybody, and I will see you again next week. Stay well, stay safe.